Today we had some awesome news, really, for anyone looking forward to Redfall. So first, we got some new gameplay that shows off more of the world, the customization, and even the skill trees for the characters. But the big thing we got was a release date. So Redfall will launch on May 2nd. And remember, this is a Game Pass game as well. So if you have Game Pass, you can play that on day one. Now, if you like Redfall and want more coverage and all of that fun stuff, please remember to like and subscribe. This is one of the main games I'm looking forward to this year. Been looking forward to it forever since it got kind of revealed a few years ago. So this one, I'm really looking forward to. Okay, so let's get into a lot of the new stuff that we learned today. So first, let's recap what Redfall actually is. It's been a while since we revisited this one. So Redfall is a story-driven shooter with RPG elements, an open world, and it can be played single player or co-op with up to 4 players. So bring some friends along the way. You guys can go slay some vampires together. It'd be a great time. So next, we need to talk about the heroes because we finally got a look at the actual hero screens. So first, we have Jacob Boyer. He's a former military sniper who took his services into the private sector, and his skills are Raven, which is a companion. We're not entirely sure what the Raven does right now, but it's a companion nonetheless. We have Cloak, which grants temporary invisibility, and we have Heartstopper, which is a summoned weapon that'll deal high damage with a limited clip. Next is Layla Ellison. She's a telekinetic who can create things with her mind, and her skills are Lift, which is basically a large like trampoline for the party. It looks like an old-timey elevator, like Willy Wonka style elevator. And then we have Umbrella, which is a shield, and you can customize this to absorb bullets and then reflect them. So there is some offense here as well. And then Vampire Ex-Boyfriend, which we don't know quite about yet. To me, the first thing I heard with Vampire Ex-Boyfriend was, is there a way for her to like resurrect a vampire or a vampire sort of as a companion or a pet that she can use? Not entirely sure, but that one definitely piqued my interest. Then we have Devinder Krausley. So Devinder Krausley is a cryptid hunter who basically seems like uber prepared for this whole situation. So his skills are Arc Javelin, which is a lightning rod that'll deal AoE damage, Translocate, which I'm guessing is like a movement skill, maybe like a burst. And then lastly, we have Blacklight, which is a frontal cone that'll petrify vampires and turn them to stone. And then last up, we have Remy De La Rosa. She's a combat engineer who can throw C4 charges, activate a siren, which is basically like her little robot companion. It'll go out there and it'll make a bunch of noise and draw aggro from enemies. And then lastly, you have Mobilize, which appears to be sort of like an AoE heal. So these are the first heroes that we have in the game. Will there be more in the future? Maybe, I don't know. But for now, this is a pretty well-rounded set to choose from. So next thing, I want to talk about the world, because going into this, I thought this was going to be a Left 4 Dead style game where you kind of go, you choose a mission, you go on the mission, you do some stuff, you have a great time, you go back out, and then you go choose another mission, right? It's kind of a mission-based structure. That is not what this game is. This is an open world game where you can go and explore, and there's a ton of different places you can go to. But yeah, so anyway, it's kind of a mind shift there. So this game takes place on Redfall Island in Massachusetts. Now, like I mentioned, it does feature an open world that players can explore freely. You can discover random events like rescuing civilians from a brewery, or you can stick close to the main story and just do those missions or quests. And scattered throughout the world are safe zones. So these are areas where survivors have gathered together to trade, give intel, and essentially restock and just live. So here, you as the character will be picking up missions, purchasing items, I'm assuming selling items, and reloading your ammo before heading back out into the world, whether it's to take on a main story mission, take on random events, or literally just go around and just explore things. Now, on top of all this, each safe zone represents an area or a neighborhood. Now, these areas are owned by a big boss vampire that you need to find and eliminate in order to take back the neighborhood. So we aren't sure what all comes with that or why you need to, but they mentioned it would be pretty great if you did. Now, in the gameplay video we have, you see 2 interesting scenarios. So one is the brewery that I mentioned earlier. This is a random event that appears on your map where cultists are attempting to sacrifice humans to the vampire gods, and they had to be stopped because that's a negative for humanity. Now, the devs did mention that similar to previous Arkane games, you can go in quiet and use stealth to clear the area, or you can just blow the door straight off the hinges and start blasting your way through. It's up to you. Both methods will work great. It's all about the play style. Now, the other scenario that they mentioned were vampire nests. So these are like deadly areas that are going to change every time you enter them. Now, in a nest, you're going to have to fight your way to the heart and kill all the vampires that are protecting it. And then once it's cleared out, you destroy the heart, collect your loot, and you have to escape before the nests collapse in on you. So to me, this sort of sounds like they're equivalent to like mapping or dungeons that you see in other shooters. So I'm curious to see where this falls in terms of difficulty and replayability. Will it get old? How different is it each time you go through it? I'm not sure, but it does sound like they're aiming to have this be sort of a meat and potatoes type of scenario that you can go through multiple times. And then lastly, they talked about underbosses for the area. Now, these are powerful vampire elites that possess special skills and unique abilities. Now, once you go through and you slay them, they're going to drop a skull. And then these skulls can be used to unlock a gate to an arena where you're going to face off with vampire gods. Now, that sounds awesome. It sounds like an end game activity. Very curious to see how that plays out and where this sort of kind of fits into the overall gameplay loop, but vampire gods really can't go wrong there. So that's the world, and that's the loop that we've seen so far, but we did also get a quick look at loot and progression. So Redfall claims to have some good variety when it comes to weapons that range from military to weird, each one possessing different stats and affixes to chase after. You can also affix different like stakes to the end of your weapon, like a bayonet, and a sort of a customization. We also see that there are weapon skins in the game as well. So there's different ways to customize your weapons to truly make them kind of fit your look and your personality. Then we have the skill system. Now, we only got a glimpse of this, but it does look pretty decent. So you got 4 sections that you can invest points into, and each one is unique to the hero. So there aren't any sort of like overlapping trees or reused nodes, not like a general tree that we have to kind of fill up and then go into our hero. It seems like it's just, here's everything for your hero. Now, I'm not sure how many points you get, so for now, we're gonna have to wait and see on that. But from this quick introduction, I'm very happy that they added a place where we can sort of design our hero to fit our needs and create different builds. Not every Layla will be the same as every other Layla, which I really, really like. So everyone, that is everything new that we learned today. It was a quick video. It was a quick look at a lot of different things, but it's a lot of stuff that I think is going to end up being pretty cool, and I'm very much looking forward to it. So I want to hear from you guys. What do you think so far about Redfall? Does this look interesting to you? Is this going to be something that you're going to try out? Or is this one that you're going to skip? It just doesn't look interesting to you. Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been Vulkan, and I'll talk to you guys next time.